And joining me now from Central Israel to analyze this further is Tommy Steiner, Policy Director at Signal and NATO and International Affairs expert. Tommy, just how serious is the arrest warrant issued by the ICC for Putin? Could it actually result in the jailing of the Russian leader, or is it purely symbolic? I'd like to remind our viewers that neither Russia nor Ukraine, for that matter, are under the jurisdiction of the ICC.
Exactly. Thank you, Batia, for having me. It's a very important political statement, but will it have any practical, operational implications? The answer is probably no, because they cannot proceed with the trial in his absence, and as long as he is president of Russia, he will not be extradited, cannot be arrested. He has I don't believe any country would arrest him. So in the foreseeable future, this is a gesture, an important statement, but nothing more than that.
Now, China's President Xi Jinping is set to meet Putin in Moscow next week. Are the Chinese taking a clear side in the Ukrainian war? Is this a potential win for Putin?
Well, let me put it this way. Over the past year, the Chinese have maintained that they do not take sides, but they have been, one can say, parroting the Russian position in respect to the fact that it is NATO's fault, it is the United States' fault, that the arms supplies to Ukraine are just prolonging the war effort. That is the public facade. But essentially, China is supporting Russia. And one can even go one step further and claim that there can be nothing more bad for China than Russia losing this war. That would be a debacle for President Xi and for China.
Tommy Steiner, stay with us. We have another story needing your input. On Friday, Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan held talks with his Finnish counterpart, Sauli Niinisto, in Ankara. Erdogan told the Finnish president that Turkey's parliament will most likely ratify Helsinki's NATO accession bid before mid-April. Now, the timing is potentially significant, coming shortly before elections in Turkey in May. Sweden and Finland applied last year to join the Transatlantic Defense Pact after Russia invaded Ukraine, but faced unexpected objections from Turkey. The parliaments of all 30 members of NATO have to ratify any membership bids for the alliance. Apart from Hungary, Turkey is the only member not yet to have given Finland and Sweden its green light.
We have a neighbor, Sweden. And what I now say is not only due to the fact that they are nice people and we have excellent relations with our neighborhood, but I have a feeling that Finnish NATO membership is not complete without Sweden.
As we assumed, Turkey has today announced that it intends to proceed with the ratification of Finland's NATO application, but not Sweden's for the time being. This is a development that we did not want, but that we were prepared for. The important thing now for Sweden is to secure the 2 remaining ratifications required for us to become members of NATO and to safeguard our security during the time this takes.
And Tommy Steiner is still with us. Hungary announced Friday that they will sign off on Finland's NATO membership, removing the biggest barrier to Finland joining the alliance, but leaving Sweden's bid languishing. Why? Aren't they supposed to be a package deal?
Well, they are, in theory, supposed to be a package deal. Sweden and Turkey have troubled relations for the past decade over the Kurdish issue, because of the fact that there is a large Kurdish community in exile in Sweden, which Turkey alleges that several prominent Kurds in Sweden are affiliated to in one way or another with the PKK, which is the terrorist resistance movement operating inside Turkey, and they want them extradited. And Sweden so far has been stonewalling There has been an agreement in the past year about how to improve relations between Sweden and Turkey, but for some unknown reason, this is yet to satisfy President Erdogan. And President Erdogan, as he mentioned, is facing elections in May, and the Kurdish issue is a hot topic. I'm no expert on Turkey, but as far as I understand, I don't think that Turkey will approve Sweden's bid to join NATO before elections in mid-May in Turkey. Fingers crossed that it will be in time for the July summit of NATO in the Baltics.
Right, and this very well may need to be addressed in terms of how this impacts Russia. We have to remember that NATO's expansion and build-up is what many that support the Russian Federation say provoked the war in Ukraine in the first place. Tommy Steiner, Policy Director at Signal and a NATO and International Affairs expert, thank you as always for your insights and analysis.
Thank you, Baja, for having me.